Hey everyone, Lauren here. A topic that has been really interesting to me as of late is the rise of ebook sales. So before I get into this topic, I just want to ask those of you who are viewing, have any of you purchased ebooks before? Have you read an ebook? Do you have any kind of tablet, maybe a Kindle or an iPad that allows you to easily read ebooks? I have to be honest that the ebook really kind of lit up to me when I started using an iPad. And I noticed that when I was around my house, maybe on the couch or laying on my bed, I just noticed how similar this was to having a book because it's just so flat, easy to move around. And that's really when I became interested in ebooks personally. But I was on a forum recently and I read a post where an article said there was a significant increase in ebook sales and a considerable decline in physical book sales. So this was really interesting to me because it had me start thinking a lot more about ebooks. What are the pros of ebooks? Obviously, everything's becoming more digital, so ebooks are just obviously going to continue to become on the rise in the future. The main things that interest me about ebooks are obviously the pros of ebooks, what are the positive things about ebooks. I also like to know more about whether ebooks are going to spur reading all around the world, an increase in reading. And then finally, I also think ebooks are really interesting in terms of marketing techniques. So the primary pros of ebooks, in my opinion, are one, we're using less trees to publish books. So that's really nice since everything's electronic, saving a lot of trees there, a lot of resources. Also, I think another positive thing about ebooks is how easy it is to search for ebooks that interest me or for someone else who has their specific interest. I have to be honest, going to an actual bookstore to me is sometimes overwhelming because there's just so many topics, so many categories in a bookstore. I have to find what I'm interested in. That takes some time in itself. And then I have to go through books, and figure out what I want. I know that even going on the computer there can save time, but still I find that I end up spending a lot of time at a bookstore looking for a book that interests me, having to get the book off the shelf, having to read the description on the computer there at the store. So that's really time consuming for me. Whereas with ebooks, I can go online, I can have access to so many ebooks right there at home. I can purchase the ebook at home. I mean, that's just obviously a nice thing to have, a nice option to have in terms of going to get a book and learning about books that are interesting to me. And another primary positive thing about ebooks, and I think a lot of people can agree with me on this, is that with ebooks, everything is digital. Everything is in something as small as this. So when you have physical books, it's obvious that you're going to have bookshelf space being used. When you have to get up and move, it's going to take you some time to pack those books, carry those books. Who knows if you've read those books, ever. And then you have to, if you don't read the books, you have to find someone to give them to or just throw them away altogether. So that's a negative. I'm also really interested about the future of textbook use with students. And so I remember when I was in high school, I had to, it was just the annual thing to go to the library, pick up my textbooks. My school didn't have lockers, so I had to sometimes bring maybe 3 textbooks to school in one day, and that was really frustrating to me, painful to my back. So it's really interesting to me to think that students in the future will possibly have Kindles, have some kind of tablet that they can hold in their hands, and they can just have their textbooks downloaded onto this medium and put it in their backpack. They're good to go. They have many textbooks, many different types of books on this tablet, so that's really awesome. Another thing that I would personally like to research and learn more about is how much ebooks are going to spur reading all over the world. So we always hear about, oh, there's a decline in reading and all this. So I've read some articles that generally stated people who have access to ebooks do read more than people who read physical books. So that's just some general information I read from different articles, and I think it's really interesting to think about, and it makes sense. Uh, so I wonder though if in how long that will last though, because obviously ebooks are kind of all the rave right now. It's something new. It's new technology. So I wonder how far down the road will will it be until people just kind of, you know, they kind of just like, it's still reading. In the long run, it's still reading. But I think that ebooks are spurring people to read more, which is really awesome. And finally, I think what's also amazing about ebooks is how they're being used for marketing techniques and to spur people to register with different websites and whatnot. I know that I've been to a few websites where I sign in and or I mean I access the web page and a box will pop up and it'll say, hey, enter your name, enter your email, and you can get a free ebook on blogging or a free ebook on something that could possibly of use to you, maybe obtaining some kind of skill. And so that's really cool because that's a way to get people more involved on your website. You're offering something free, you're offering something that can be possibly be of use to them. It's not taking up space in their home. It's not like they have to pick it up. It's just really easy. It's just download it. You can learn, you can read it if you want. If you decide that you don't like it, you can just delete it. It's really no loss. So ebooks are really becoming something that can kind of pull people into a website and gain their interest in that website. So that's also really awesome. So I ultimately support ebooks, and I've read forum posts where people just are still very headstrong in supporting physical books, but I can't. I'm really excited about ebooks, and I hope those of you who are watching investigate ebooks yourself. Try to find something to read while you're on the computer. It's really easy. You just download it. It's in a PDF format. If you have a tablet of some sort, like I showed my iPad, you can just lay on your bed and flip through pages, and it's like reading a book.